Hello guys, it's the Sun Gaming that I'm reacting to, entitled Girl Makes Unexpected Friend on Omegle by Dhar Mann Studios. Anyways, let's begin.
Hi. What's your name?
Dang, are you a parking ticket? Got fine written all over you.
Finally, someone normal. Oh my gosh, I love your necklace. That's like legit probably one of the prettiest things I've ever seen.
Thanks. It's kind of my most prized possession. And yeah, tons of creeps on this site. Almost makes you lose faith in humanity.
Tell me about it. You seem nice though. You're also like super pretty.
I was gonna say the same thing about you. You okay?
To be honest, it's been kind of a sucky night.
Hey, I'm a good listener if you need someone with 2 ears.
Sorry, I gotta go. Oh, do you maybe want to exchange deets and then we could like pick this up some other time?
Just sent you my number. I'm free this time every week, but if you want, you can consider me your sister from another mister.
I can't believe you tried to sneak that bread out in your pocket and then you forgot about it.
It was for dramatic effect. Besides, I was trying to do, what are the kids saying nowadays? Ain't no crumbs?
Ain't no crumbs? What? What kid says that? This is the first time I ever heard this. Anyways.
Viviana, I thought you were sleeping.
Oh, well, I considered it, but it's kind of hard to sleep knowing your mom is gallivanting around town with some man who's not your dad.
We got you some raspberry cheesecake, your favorite. Actually, Jack paid for it.
Oh, well, in that case, raspberry cheesecake's my least favorite.
Maybe I should
Hit the road, Jack, and never come back? Yeah, sounds like a pretty good idea.
Would you please be a little bit nicer to my boyfriend?
Oh, is that what you're calling him now? This whole thing makes me sick. Like, you're not even wearing your wedding band anymore. It's like Dad didn't even exist.
Sweetie, please.
No, don't sweetie me when you're too busy dating some new guy to actually beat my mom.
How about I take you shopping to make up for it? Maybe we can find something for your birthday party.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I kind of feel like I look like a squash. What do you think? Mom?
Oh, that looks great on you. It doesn't resemble a vegetable in the slightest.
Pause on the veggies. What are you doing in that dress?
Oh, you...
Yeah, you can clearly tell that she's sarcastic. Like, why would you bring up vegetables as a reference if she doesn't look like that in the slightest? Like, even though her voice doesn't quite say it, I would still think that she's being sarcastic, because, like, if she doesn't resemble a vegetable in the slightest, why bring it up? Genuinely, why bring it up? You wouldn't do this unless you're sarcastic. Anyways, let's continue.
like it? I decided to go with something a little bit more form-fitting since I lost a little bit of weight.
Ew, no, you're a middle-aged mom, not an Instagram influencer. Is this some sort of like midlife crisis? Because like all of a sudden you're getting your hair done and wearing makeup again, dressing up. It's weird.
Whoever you're going out with in that dress is a very lucky guy.
Why don't you run around town with that guy too? Whatever, I'm over this. I need to go get something for Gail for her anniversary, so.
All right, I'll change.
All right, after the game. Baby! Come on, babe. I'm a quarterback, not the linebacker.
Why'd you have to say linebacker like that?
What do you mean?
I heard you wins. Like, thank you for making me feel great about my weight. Love a good fat shaming.
I didn't mean it to come across that way. Babe, you are beautiful. You're fit. You're the total package. I wouldn't change a thing about you.
Anyway. Got you a little something.
Whoa! This is fire. Thanks, babe. You got me this out of the blue?
Out of the blue, it's our anniversary.
I'm sorry. It slipped my mind, but I promise I'll make it up to you. Soon. I'm busy working all weekend.
Yeah, I know. You're always busy with something that's not me. Work, football. I mean, like, I've been going through it with my mom, but I guess you're too busy to notice that either.
Be quiet.
I wasn't sure if you'd be here or not.
And stand you up? What kind of a random person you just met on the internet would that make me? So, how are you? Things any better? Like I said before, you're welcome to vent to me.
Okay, well, for starters, I lost my dad a little over a year ago. And if that's not bad enough, my mom is already moving on. Like, it's like she's trying to live her best life. Like, new hair, new makeup, new clothes, new guy.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, when she phrases it like that, I don't know what her mom did wrong. Like, okay, her dad died a year ago, right? Well, in that case, I don't see what's wrong with her mom moving on. Like, okay, if her mom tried to move on immediately, like immediately after a month or so, I would understand. But like, when do you want your mom to move on? Like, okay, her transformation might be a little much, but like, still, let her move on. Does she really have to be tied down to your dad dying for a lifetime? Like, how long do you expect her to stay there doing nothing until she moves on? Like, seriously, this is the one thing where I'm honestly kind of with her mom instead of her. Like, okay, her mom is trying to change herself a lot. Like, she's trying to essentially change everything about herself to the point that to the point, like her daughter said, she's starting to act like she's a young person even though she's in middle-aged already. Like, but like, still, let her move on. Like, does she have to be upset and not being able to move on about your father's death for like years? How long do you expect her to stay like that before she moves on? Seriously. Anyways, let's continue.
I know what it's like to lose a parent. And I can understand that it feels pretty unfair that your mom's moving on so soon while you're still mourning.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. What? Waiting 1 year is too soon? Okay, first of all, grieving is different from person to person. People deal with it in different ways and they move on at different time periods. Just because you're taking a little longer than your mom doesn't mean it's unfair. Like, what? First of all, 1 year is a good amount of time. Like, okay, again, if it was a month or a couple of months, I would understand it being too soon. Like, she probably didn't care about her husband that much if she managed to move on that quickly. But, like, 1 year, I feel is a good enough time for her to be able to move on. So her daughter's saying, oh, no, it's unfair because she's moving on while I'm still grieving. No. Just outright no. Just because she's managed to move on or she's moving on while you're still grieving doesn't mean it's unfair. Like, if anything, this should encourage you to move on. Like, what? Like, you guys see what I mean? I honestly do not understand her, how she can be in the right in the slightest. Just because your mom is moving on sooner than you doesn't mean it's unfair. Like, you're acting as if she's supposed to be tied down to her dead husband. No offense to her husband, of course, but like, you're acting as if she should be tied down to him instead of trying to move on. Like, should she really be caring about his death to the point that she can't move on for years? Seriously? Like, again, a year is a good amount of time that I know she cared about him. At least that's what I think. I thank God that I haven't gone through something like that yet. I thank God for it, but like, still, genuinely think about it. You're telling me that because your mom managed to move on, or like trying to move on before you, it's unfair? Seriously? Does your mom have to wait until you stop grieving for it to be fair? See what I mean? For her being the main character, I understand her mom more than her. Like, I don't understand her motive in the slightest. Anyways, let's continue.
Yes, and like, I want to talk to my boyfriend about it, but like, there's always something that gets in the way of him being there for me when I really need him. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm not worth his time or something. Makes me feel like I'm never good enough, you know?
First off, don't ever let a guy, anyone, but especially a guy, make you feel like you're not good enough. Okay? And second, have you considered that maybe there's a reason your mom is doing all of that? Or that your boyfriend's actually busy? Hey, I'm not defending them. I'm just saying that maybe they're going through something too.
No. My mom is a successful woman with money, and now a shiny new boy toy.
Okay. No. That's hypocrisy right here, right now. You are being hypocritical. You're saying no one understands me. You don't even know about what's happening with me and my mom. Do you, like, for example, when she told her boyfriend, you don't even know what's going on with me and my mom. Like, okay, yeah, but you don't know what's going on with his personal life too. Don't act like you know everything about it. Like, this is hypocrisy right there. Genuinely hypocrisy. You act like your mom, like, okay, especially your boyfriend, like, you act like your boyfriend is bad because he isn't noticing what's been happening with your mom. I think that's what she pointed out, right? Like, you know what? It's 8 minutes and 14 seconds, okay? Because I genuinely want to check back and know what she was mad exactly about it for when it comes to her mom, because I don't want my point to be disproven because I misunderstood. So again, I'll remember 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's check. Okay, no, after that, around here.
I'm busy.
I've been going through it with my mom, but I'm always busy with something that's not me. Work, football. I mean, like, I've been going through it with my mom, but I guess you're too busy to notice that.
He's too busy to notice that either. Huh. And you're too busy to notice what's going on with him. Like, you don't know what's going on with him. The hypocrisy right then and there. Like, he could say, well, you don't know what's going on with me, do you? Or like something like that. She's like, again, I'm gonna repeat it just to show how hypocritical she is right now. Or she was, because like, she's like, oh, you're too busy to notice that I've been going through it with my mom. Well, aren't you too busy to notice what's going on with him? Or what he's going through? Aren't you too busy for that? Who knows? Maybe he's going through something and you don't know? Hypocrisy right then and there. Now, of course, I'm assuming, but like, again, there could be a possibility. And if that possibility is true, then she's being hypocritical. She's mad at him for something, or like she's upset at him at something, even though you could make the same argument for her. You're too busy to notice that he's going through something as well. Now, of course, I'm assuming that he's going through something. But like, again, if that possibility turns out to be true, then that girl is being hypocritical. The more time passes, the more I'm becoming against her. And you're telling me that woman is the main character. You know, this thing better make a turn on, because I've seen people saying that this is the best Dhar Mann story ever. So like, you better live up to the hype.
And a boyfriend who treats you like a queen. I mean, look at you. You're like everything I want to be.
Yeah.
All right, Marcy, you're the last one to play. Let's see which of these fabulous AP Lit novels you'll be reporting on.
Come on, Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh, looks like you'll be entering the flashy, jazzy world of Mr. J. Gatsby. Can't wait to hear what you think about his adventures.
Me too.
All right, well, thank you all for playing, and I hope you enjoy your novels.
Oh, did I miss all the fun?
Oh, well, don't worry. There's still time for me to assign you a book.
Actually, I've got something for you. I'm proud to announce, with you guys hearing this first, Miss Finney, you are being awarded Brookside Teacher of the Year Award. Congratulations. Thank you for all that you do for our students. I'm gonna let you get back now.
Oh, thank you, Principal Jones. Is everything okay, Viviana? Your grades have been slipping lately, and I'm concerned about you.
Yeah, I'm fine. I have a lot on my mind.
Okay, well, I'm here if you need me.
It's at my house at 4.
Hey, got one for me?
Of course. Because otherwise you'd probably forget my birthday just like you did our anniversary.
Ouch. And impossible.
Oh, hey, Coach, I have an invite with your name on it.
I need to speak to you. Viviana, I hate to tell you this, but you're not going to be able to cheer tomorrow night.
What? No, I'm the captain.
Your grades have fallen below the qualification threshold, and until you get it together in the classroom, we can't have you on the field.
No. I need you to stay after school to help me get my grades up.
Oh, okay. Is everything okay?
Does it look like I'm okay? Coach just said I can't cheer because my grades are bad.
Okay. Well, just come by my classroom after school tomorrow, and we'll work on some extra credit.
No, I need help tonight.
I'm sorry, I would, but I'm not gonna be here. I have an important appointment.
Okay, what is more important than my grades? Like, you are literally a teacher. My grades should be your life.
Is it me, or the more time passes, the more she becomes selfish? Like, genuinely, I feel like she's expecting the world to revolve around her. Like, what? I mean, yeah, even the title says it. She's entitled. Like, she thinks everything's gonna be about her. So I think that the main lesson from what I'm hearing here is, first of all, the world doesn't revolve around you. Like, not everyone is going to help you. They have their own life as well. If they're busy already, they're not gonna try to put you in if they can't. Second, like, I feel like the world is essentially telling you here, I'm sorry. Like, it's the type of thing where time is not gonna wait for you. Like, the world is gonna wait for you to stop grieving. It won't. You'll have to move on eventually. You see what I mean? Like, genuinely, when she hears that her grades are falling, like, time is not gonna wait for you to stop grieving. Either you move on, or you fall. Simple as that. Like, she's honestly becoming even more entitled. Like, okay, from what I've seen from her boyfriend, he doesn't sound like a bad person at all. He loves her. He makes sure she's loved, she's appreciated, all of that. Like, okay, he forgot their anniversary, sure, but like, if he's acting like that already and he isn't like being malicious or anything, I would give him the benefit of the doubt, especially considering the other boyfriends we've seen from the past. Like, again, not the world doesn't revolve around you. People are not gonna make extra slots of their day for you unless the time allows them to do. Like, for example, when she says, "Aren't you a teacher? My grade should be your life." What? This is the most entitled... Okay, I'm not gonna say that word. This is the most entitled thing I've heard from her today. Like, genuinely, how does the damn video expect me to believe in her? How does it expect me to just be with her? Like, if the video intends for me to be on her side, it's failing horribly. I am not with her at all. I do not care. If anything, I'm against her. She's been doing everything wrong. Anyways, let's continue, huh?
Yes, I'm teacher of the year. You are.
Hey, all good. Like I said, you can call me whenever. So, are you gonna hit the books now?
More like the salon. I'm hoping getting my nails done will make me feel better.
You worked a miracle on this one. I can't thank you enough. Bye.
Viviana? You okay?
I gotta call you back. Oh! So this was your important appointment, getting your hair done.
Viviana, let me explain.
Explain what? How I came to you begging for help and you blew me off so you could go to the salon? Your hair's cringe, by the way.
That woman is so entitled. I'm starting to be mad. Like, I'm trying to speak normally, but sooner or later she'll make me mad and make me scream. Like, genuinely, how entitled are you? Like, okay, she made an appointment and she went to the salon. Like, when I hear appointment, I think it's more of a she booked for this day instead of her being there on the spot. Because if it's on the spot, I can kind of understand. Like, Viviana's grades are, of course, important. But, like, if it's an appointment that needs to be booked days in advance, then I'm against her all the way. You know what? Let's see what happens with her boyfriend to know if she's actually bad or if she's entitled.
It's so great to finally be hanging out. Even if we have to be quiet for 2 hours.
Right. Like you've ever been quiet during a scary movie. Plus, we'll be too busy eating to talk. I brought our favorite snacks. It's work.
Just hang out.
I'm sorry I have to take it.
We're on a date.
Hello? Yeah, I can come in. Okay, I'll see you soon.
You're kidding, right? You're gonna ditch me before our date barely started?
Jamie called in sick.
So I don't care if Jamie's sick. That has nothing to do with why you can't put me first for once.
Can you stop? You're making a scene.
Oh, do you want a scene? How's that for a scene? Better hurry up and go get changed since your work is that much more important. Mom?
Oh, wow. Looks like your mom's having a better date night than you, huh?
Wait, sweetie, wait. Wait, would you slow?
Okay, so much to say. First of all, I would have been with her if she didn't do all of that. Like, really? Like, I understand her being mad. Like, even if she's a little entitled, I understand her being mad. Like, the date barely started, and yet her boyfriend's like, I'm sorry, it's work, I have to go. Like, okay. At that point, I'm honestly against him. Like, if he's busy in the first place and says I can't come in because I'm busy, sure. But if they're in the middle of a date, or I could say in the start of a date in this case, and he suddenly says, oh, I'm sorry, this person called in sick, I have to take their shift. Really? Like, is he tight on money or something? Like, just say I can't. Someone else will do the job. Because, like, again, I would have been with him if she didn't make a whole scene. Like, okay, I kind of understand now the whole him putting work before her. Like, first, like, if he's busy in the first place, I kind of with him. But as soon as he tries to ditch her for work, I'm honestly with her if she didn't make a scene. She went too far, honestly, for me to be with her. Anyway.
Slow down. These shoes, they were not made for running.
What are you doing with that guy?
We're just seeing a movie.
Yeah, you're just seeing a movie, and then tomorrow you're just getting dinner, and before I know it, you're just getting married. Do you have any idea how it feels seeing you with him? Like, seriously, Mom, how selfish can you be? You can either be Jack's girlfriend or my mom.
How selfish can you be, huh? Really? Why do you have? She's essentially guilt tripping her mom. I don't know if this counts as guilt tripping or gaslighting, but like I feel like this is more of guilt tripping because she's trying to make her mom guilty of something rather than make her believe something. Maybe it's a mix of both, but like she's essentially guilt tripping her mom into thinking that she's bad because she's trying to move on. Why? Genuinely, why? Why are you so selfish? You're the selfish one. Oh, you can either be Jack's girlfriend or my mom. Really? Do you really have to give her an ultimatum? She's your mother. She's the last person you should give an ultimatum. For the last time. Just because you're still grieving does not mean your mom shouldn't be able to move on until you stop. The world doesn't revolve around you. I remember a message related to time, but I don't remember what the exact words are. They were something like, time isn't gonna wait for you, or something like that. Where essentially, time is not gonna wait for you to move on in this case. Like, I think her name is Viviana, right? So Viviana. Like, genuinely, the world is not gonna wait for you to move on. Either you move on, or you fall behind. And giving her mom an ultimatum? Really? Really? Oh, you can either be Jack's girlfriend or my mom. Why? Let your mom move on. Let her genuinely move on. What? Does she have to wait until you stop grieving for you to accept that now? Really? Like, honestly, she is selfish as Okay, don't swear, it isn't necessary, but like, how entitled and selfish can you be to not let your mom move on until you yourself move on? If anything, her mom moving on should help her move on herself. Like, okay, her seeing her mom with another guy kind of hurts. Like, I understand that. But, like, again, it's been a year already. Let your mom move on. Move on yourself. What? She's now tied to her dead husband until you stop grieving? Huh? Like, no respect to the... No. Okay, you know what? Let's just continue.
But you can't be both. Like, I'm so tired of being a second thought. Like, everyone else has it so good while I'm in my room alone and miserable.
You're not alone. I'm here, right?
Well, yes, but like, you're also the only person who actually cares about me.
How are this? How am I supposed to handle her for like 15 more minutes? Genuinely, how? Like, I'm not gonna be surprised if this video becomes an hour long because, like, this woman is genuinely making me tired. Like, how entitled is she? Like, she has the type of entitlement that I would expect from a villain from these types of stories, not from the main character. And I honestly understand why they did that. Because when I keep receiving doses of such high entitlement, I'll get an overdose eventually. I'll eventually get an overdose. Oh, I'm suffering. Like, okay. I'm gonna say this again because if she's being repetitive, I might as well be repetitive myself. Not the world doesn't revolve around you. Just because your boyfriend is busy and your mom is trying to move on doesn't mean they don't care about you. Your boyfriend cares about you. He makes sure you feel good. He makes sure you feel appreciated, loved, all of that. Like if he didn't do that, I would understand. And for her mom, let your mom move on. Genuinely let her move on. What's your problem? Oh, I can't bear seeing you with another guy. Let her move on. Genuinely. Like, okay, she was with your dad a year ago. Sure. But, like, let her move on. Does she have to wait, like, 5 years to be able to move on? Let her live her life and move on. Like, honestly, I'm surprised her mom didn't deal with her right then and there. Like, how can she give an ultimatum to her own mother? Like, think about it. How entitled and selfish is she? Like, man, I don't know if I should call it irony or what. That she tells her mom, how selfish can you be? How selfish can you be? Like, you know what? I'm being repetitive. I'm probably making you bored because I keep repeating the same stuff. I might as well continue.
I mean, you're probably the only person who'll show up to my birthday party. You got the invite, right?
Hey, sis. I have a question.
I'm still putting together my gift wish list.
Okay, a second question. How do you know that everyone around you has it so good?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious. Uh, uh, do I have to point to depressed people? Like, I don't want to make an example of people who are suffering, you could say mentally, but like depressed people, for example, some of them try to hide it by genuinely being happy. You can, like, they leave signs that they're depressed, but like they are never directly depressed. You know what I mean? Like, okay, not everyone is like that, but like you know those people that are expressed either through skits or you've seen in real life that are so happy yet inside they're depressed. Like they might have seen them at some point, or at least seen a representation of them in skits or whatnot. Because like people like that genuinely exist. They try to give out small hints that they're depressed, that they think they're worthless, that they want to, I would say, leave their life. But like they don't say it directly. Like if you expect them to tell you directly, I want to leave my life, of course, like they wouldn't. Why would they tell you that? They're gonna give you hints to at least give you a chance of making them feel appreciated, but they won't say it directly. Like this is of course isn't the same thing, but I'm trying to give an example of not everything has to be obvious. Not everything's obvious. Your mom is trying to move on. She's hurt and is trying to move on by getting a new boyfriend, potentially new husband, and you know, redoing her style and stuff like that. She's trying to move on. She's trying to move on from the pain. Why stay in it? And for her boyfriend, again, you do not know what's going on. Maybe he's so tight in terms of okay, maybe he's tight in terms of financials to the point that he's ready to go to work because someone got sick just for the extra money. You do not know. You are assuming, like as much as I'm assuming that her boyfriend is struggling, she's assuming that he's fine. Yes, she doesn't know. Like it's funny when she tells him, like, you're so busy you don't even notice that I'm going through it with my mom. Well, you're so busy to notice that he's going through something with his life. Like, you see the hypocrisy? The hypocrisy is unbelievable. Like, that moment was specifically when, you know, hypocrisy was made. But, like, genuinely, oh, eventually I'll get an overdose. I'll eventually get an overdose from this. Like, how intelligent can it be? Like, I'm telling you, I keep getting the entitled syringe injected into me, and sooner or later I'll get an overdose. I'm telling you. Anyway.
One sec, let me send you something. What do you think about the girl in the photo I just sent you?
She looks really happy. Like she's enjoying life way more than I am.
That photo was taken an hour before that girl took her own life.
Okay, I'm not trying to laugh because, like, this is something I would laugh at, but the fact that she gave an example that was so similar to what I gave is honestly surprising. Like, I haven't watched this video before, I'm telling you, this is my first watch, and yet the fact that I gave an example so similar to what this girl is giving, like, I'm telling you, I genuinely am seeing this for the first time. It's honestly a big coincidence that me and her pointing out the same example. That depressed people, like, of course, not all of them. Some of them make it obvious, but like, not everyone makes it obvious. Sometimes the people are the happiest people are the people who are suffering inside. Like, I seen that to a kid once, and you know, which is a representation of people being happy with their life, but then suddenly they're done. They I would say leave their life for the sake of, you know, YouTube, because, you know, YouTube would kind of act weird if I said the actual word, is unless it was an educational video. But like, the fact, you know what, it's honestly a big coincidence. I was not ready for her to give the same example. Anyways, let's continue.
I know. Crazy, right? What I'm trying to get at is, I know everyone around you seems to be doing really well, but you need to remember to check on the people that are around you. Because sometimes the people with the biggest smiles are the ones hurting the most.
how big of a coincidence is it? Okay, maybe I would have changed the message to appear the happiest instead of being the happiest, appear the happiest. But like, honestly, that's a big coincidence that I gave out basically the same example. Like, honestly, okay, I should stop making this sound. I'm sounding like I'm gonna laugh. I'm not laughing. I shouldn't laugh at this stuff, of course. I'm not laughing, but like, genuinely, it's honestly a big coincidence that me and her basically gave the exact same example, just a bit of different presentation, you could say. But like, okay, I feel like the whole that friend took the photo like an hour before taking her own life maybe is a little dramatic, a little. Like, why would people take a photo and then an hour later decide to take their own life? Like, okay, you know what? I shouldn't judge people. I shouldn't judge people, especially when it comes to stuff like that. I don't have the right to judge. I don't know what's going on in their minds. I shouldn't judge. Anyways, let's continue.
You have a minute?
Can I call you back later?
So I ended things with Jack.
Really?
Yeah. You come first. You always have. That's all I wanted to say. So I'll let you get back to your friend. Good night, sweetheart.
Wait. Are you okay? I mean, I'm just trying to understand what's going on. Because, like, Dad died, and then you're just, like, walking around here acting like he didn't even exist. It's like he didn't matter to you, and
I'm not ready to have this conversation with you right now, Viviana, okay?
Okay, so you're not ready to have the conversation, but it took you no time at all to move on. Like, he's gone, and then all of a sudden you have this new glow up and you're dating this new guy.
That's the worst thing you could do. Like, you don't want to, like, if someone tells you I'm not ready to have this conversation, don't just try to pressure them and essentially, I wouldn't say gaslight them, but essentially, she's trying to pressure her mom into having it. Like, if your mom said I'm not ready, she's not ready. Like, why would you pressure her into telling you? And second, like, okay, I have a question. How long was she with Jack? Because that changes things up massively. Like, for example, did she start dating him right now or like very recently, or was it for a while? Because again, they said that her dad died a year ago. So how long was that with her mom with Jack? Because that changes things up massively. Because if someone moves on way too soon, they either move on like really well or they didn't care. Which one is that? Now, of course, the first one is honestly kind of hard to get, obviously, because it depends from person to person. But like, again, how long has she been dating Jack? I would assume like a month or two, because like it wouldn't make any sense for it to be 6 months. Because like, you know what? I'm not. Why am I even assuming how long she's been dating him? Like, why am I even assuming that? It's not like I can tell. Anyway.
And it's weird. It's like you were waiting for him
to... Okay, don't even. You have no idea what you're talking about. There is nothing in this world that your father could have asked of me that I wouldn't do. I dedicated my entire life to him. That's why it hurts so much when I realized even that wasn't enough.
What are you talking about?
Shortly after your father passed, I found out he was cheating on me for most of our marriage with his secretary.
Wait a second. Most of your marriage? You're telling me he has essentially been cheating on you for 10 plus years? Like, okay, knowing how long she's been married is kind of hard because the only way I can measure this is if after they got married they immediately had their child, which of course is very hard to get. Like, how long was it before she had her child? Because here's the thing. Her child Viviana is the only way of measurement, and even then, it doesn't account for the time period between their marriage and her having Viviana. But like, if I assume they had Viviana fairly recently after their marriage, like let's say a year later, because like that's the least like you have to remember that's the least amount. Then she's essentially then her husband had essentially been cheating on her for like 10 plus years, maybe even 15 plus years. Like, what? Like, honestly, I understand why that hurts. Like, a year or two is already bad, but when most of their marriage essentially means a decade and a half, maybe even more? No, that's gotta hurt badly. Like, why was he even cheating on her? I don't want to hear the whole... the fact that the secretary is younger, so she's more attractive, I guess. Because remember, when we hear most of their marriage here, this means more than a decade. This means absolutely more than a decade and a half, something like that. So like it can't be because the secretary is younger, because that point would have vanished years ago. Anyways, let's continue.
What? Even then, there hasn't been a moment that's passed that I haven't thought about him, where I haven't replayed every moment of our lives in my head, wondering if it's all a lie.
Wait, why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't want to ruin your image of your dad for you. I know how much you love him. For the longest, I've been trying to shut off this broken record in my head that I'm not good enough. I just wanted to feel good about myself again. And Jack is the first person who's made me feel seen and beautiful in a really long time.
Yes, Viviana, feel all the guilt creeping in. Like, I've been hearing people say that this story was the first that made them cry, but honestly, I don't think that will happen to me. Not because the story isn't emotional, but like, honestly, I'm not the type of person to cry to these things. Like, you could give me the most emotional scene you've ever seen, and I wouldn't react to it physically. Like, I wouldn't have a tear unless it's something that my body does alone, not because of emotion. But like, anyways. So like, I honestly want Viviana to feel the most guilt she ever felt. Because like, genuinely, when you essentially guilt trip your mom into feeling even worse than she already does, and giving her an ultimatum, you honestly deserve all the guilt in the world. Like, what the stuff that she did is already bad, but with the context that the father had cheated in the first place, and for 10 plus years, maybe even 15 plus years? Yeah, all I gotta say is that woman deserves every piece of guilt in the world. She deserves all of it. She needs to take all of it. Anyways, let's continue.
But you're more important. You always have been.
Hey, Gil, why don't you take 15? There's a pretty girl at table 4 here to see you.
Wasn't expecting to see you here at work, considering...
I am so sorry about how I reacted. That was really crappy of me. I was just upset because, well, you know, I'm your girlfriend, and I wanted to feel like a priority in your life, but it seems like your entire life is work and football. I just wanted to check in and see if there's something else going on, or if you're just really not into us anymore.
Babe. Of course I'm into us. If it were up to me, we'd be together 24/7.
Is there something else then?
You know my grandma?
The one you live with? Mm-hmm.
Well, she broke her hip recently, and she can't go into work. And since she doesn't have a laptop, she can't even work from home. So I've been picking up shift to keep the light on.
Do you still make time for football?
I can't afford college without it. And I've been playing through the season with an injury. None of the team knows. None of the players, coach.
Is that why you winced that one day? Great, now I feel like the world's worst girlfriend. I wish you told me.
And you kind of make it hard when you're always talking about your own issues.
You are the world's worst girlfriend. Like, I honestly understand. Like, if my girlfriend was speaking about her own issues all the time, I'd be like, nah, I honestly don't even want to tell her anything. Like, it's enough. That's already enough. Anyway.
Ready for that extra credit assignment?
No. I mean, yes, but that's not why I'm here. I wanted to apologize to you. Your hair, it's not cringe. It's actually a really nice style. I was just being a total piece of crap. And you didn't deserve that. I'm sorry.
Well, I was actually picking up my new wig. She's my little post-first round of chemo present.
But you're the happy-go-lucky teacher at school.
I do it for my students. You kids have enough problems in your teenage years than to worry about little Miss Finney.
You really are an incredible teacher. And you know, that's a bussin' wig.
Now, since you're here, why don't we get started on this extra credit?
Now this is a montage, so as always, skip! Okay, so essentially the montage was just her finishing the extra credit and doing really well. Her, getting Jack back with her mother, her making things better for the people she's hurt in general. Like, yeah, honestly, there isn't anything that's really worth mentioning. Because, like, again, it doesn't really matter in retrospect. Like, again, she did nice things to help them. I don't think mentioning specific examples honestly really matter. Anyways, let's continue.
Sorry, I just wanted to check in on the birthday girl. Do you need anything for your guests get here? They should be arriving pretty soon.
No, I'm almost ready. I'll be out soon.
Cool.
Oh, this came in the mail for you. It's from your friend Juliet. Didn't you say she was coming?
Oh my gosh, yes. I forgot about our chat again. I should probably call her back before I go out.
Gail and I will take care of all the guests, so just don't be too long, okay?
Okay.
What's that?
I don't know.
It looked like it's a video call request. You think we should answer it?
I guess. We can see what else we can figure out.
Oh, hi. You must be Juliet's parents. Is she there?
Is the mic working?
I can't hear anything. Nothing.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hi. I can hear you.
Oh.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Viviana.
Wait. No. Please don't tell me she did it. Please don't tell me. Please don't. Please don't tell me she did it.
Viviana, that's the online friend.
I remember hearing about her.
Is she there? I wanted to talk to her, unless she's already on her way to the party. Is there something I'm missing?
I'm sorry to be the
Please do not.
one to tell you this, dear, but your friend took her life 2 days ago.
Why? Why? Just why? Why does it have to be? No.
You know, we're just here to pick up her belongings and get the place ready to list for the new tenants. Let us know if you want anything. We'd be happy to send it to you.
Wait, no, are you not her parents?
Parents? No. Juliet doesn't seem to have any friends or family, as far as we know of. As long as she's been renting with us. The only person she seemed to talk to was you.
If you want, you can consider me your sister from another mister.
Wait. So essentially, this is essentially gonna be assumption, but she took her own life because Viviana hasn't been talking to her for a bit. She saw it. Viviana left her, right? Man, this took a way darker tone than I expected. I was really hoping they wouldn't go to the point where they say she took her own life, but sadly they did. Anyways, let's continue.
I know what it's like to lose a parent.
Oh my goodness. You probably have tons of friends and family to hang out with, and a boyfriend who treats you like a queen. I mean, look at you. You're like everything I want to be.
I know everyone around you seems to be doing really well, but you need to remember to check on the people that are around you. Because sometimes the people with the biggest smiles are the ones hurting the most.
I checked in on everyone. I checked in on everyone. Her. Dear Viviana, thinking of you and sending you so much love and happy birthday wishes from my little corner of the universe.
I'm sorry I won't make the party. Very soon, I won't be making it to anything. There's a lot about me that I haven't told you, so I figured I should tell you now while I have the chance. My parents died when I was very young, so I grew up in the foster care system, never really knowing where I belonged, and never having anyone I could call a family. And being shuttled from school to school, friends were just as scarce. It seems like I've always been alone. The relationships I did have, let's just say, they made me wish I was alone. But somehow I kept going, battling against my anxiety, depression, and one tough break after another. Finally, when I could strike out on my own, I struck out there too. My boss was a monster and eventually drove me out of the company. It seemed like everything in my life was falling apart. And then came the final blow, when I was diagnosed with a terminal illness. There's only one outcome, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, actually, there's one thing, and I'm not telling you this so you'll feel sorry for me. I'm telling you because you're someone I trust, someone I care about.
Honestly, this is the most serious and emotional Dhar Mann has been in a while. Like, I'm being genuine here. Like, I felt like I was almost gonna tear up because of this, but like, genuinely, this is the most serious and emotional Dhar Mann has been in a while, maybe even years. Because like, honestly, wait, oh no, she said terminal illness. I thought she went for a second to mental illness. But like, man, I cannot even change my tone. Like, this is way too emotional. I feel like I'm gonna tear up if this goes on. Anyway.
Someone I call my friend. Talking with you over this past month made everything a little less lonely and a little more bearable. And I thank you for that. So please, Viviana, have a happy birthday and a happy life. And never forget to keep caring for those around you, because you have no idea what they're going through.
Honestly, even though no one should take their own life, I feel like I kind of understand why. Wait, what was her name again? Like, okay. Genuinely. Oh, yeah, Juliet. Okay, so even though I would offer obviously to say no one should ever take their own life, I at least understand a little why she did. Like, I can't even say if she waited, maybe she would have found something maybe she would have finally be happy in some way, but no. I can't even say that when I hear she got a terminal illness. See, she essentially did the whole, if I'm gonna die, why should I wait for it to happen, huh? Like, she did the thing where she's like, well, if I'm gonna die, why should I let it be? Why should I delay it? Sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's very clear that she went on Omegle just to find people she could give advice, I would say, to, before she would, do it. Because, like, it's very clear that she was planning to do it, especially because, remember, she already had a terminal illness. It's not like she could escape from it. This, honestly, is one of the saddest cases I've ever heard, because most of the time when I hear about these, whether in skits that are representations of this stuff, most of the time it's just depression. Like, you could always say, oh, if only they waited, they could have finally found happiness in something, but no. This is one of the very few representations I've ever seen where you can't even use that because she already got a terminal illness. Even if she found happiness, she probably wouldn't experience it for very long, if at all. Honestly, I don't even know. Let's just continue. Anyway.
Love, your big sis, Juliet.
Oh my gosh, I love your necklace. That's like legit probably one of the prettiest things I've ever seen.
Sweetie, everyone's waiting for you.
Viviana, you're up next.
The prompt I chose was discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth or a new understanding of yourself or others. It was a Friday night, and my boyfriend was too busy with work to answer my endless string of text messages.
I don't know if I should comment on this when the video ends or now. But, like, you know what? Maybe I should comment on this when the video ends, because this is more of the thing overall with the whole ending her own life thing. This is more about that overall. So I feel like this is something that I should let to the end of the video instead of now. Anyway.
My mom was on a date with a new guy about a year after I lost my dad, and I was lonely and miserable in my bedroom. So what did I do? I logged onto Omegle. I wasn't sure what I was looking for, but who I found was Juliet. She was everything I wanted to be, perfection. I still remember the way that she smiled at me like I mattered. And for the following weeks, we made it a tradition to hop on a call while I vented about the people who I saw as problems in my life. Everything started to shift when she helped me recognize that maybe those people I saw as problems had problems of their own. You see, I was so caught up in my own narrative and playing victim that I saw everyone else as selfish, while I was the one wallowing in my own selfishness. Juliet challenged me to dig deeper and question the seemingly perfect surface of the people that I envied in my life. When I finally did, I learned that everyone was fighting a battle that I didn't know about. Juliet taught me something more valuable than anything I've ever learned in a classroom. She taught me to check in on those around me because even the quarterback isn't made of steel. The savvy businesswoman is sometimes searching for any shred of confidence, and the teacher of the year is putting on a smile when she has her own battles she's fighting. And sometimes, the friend who always showed up when you needed them might actually need you more. Although I'll
Okay, so I'll be honest. When it comes to Juliet, I feel like if Rihanna was a little different, it wouldn't have changed the thing because her taking her own life feels like it was more of a planned thing. I feel like it was more planned than a spur of the moment decision, or like something that she decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it now, so that type of thing. So I feel like Viviana wasn't gonna delay it if she was more considerate. You know what I mean? I don't think she was because, like, if I think about it for a second, I feel like it's something that Juliet pled that Viviana could not have changed either way. Because, again, Juliet was having a terminal illness, so she essentially made the inevitable happen earlier. That's essentially it. Anyways, let's continue.
I'll never get to tell Juliet this. I owe it to her for the person that I am today. Thank you, Juliet. You are the best big sister from another mister that any girl could have ever asked for.
Yeah, I might as well get to the title card because I won't be able to handle seeing this for another moment. Okay, so I'll be honest. This is one of the most serious and emotional videos I've ever seen from Dhar Mann. Like, my tone has even changed because of it. I can't even return back to my normal tone for a while. So, honestly, Juliet is a case where she's honestly much different from the usual you'd see across the internet, whether it's skits, stories, whatever. Because here's the thing: with most of those stories, the reason why people end their take their life, or whatever you could say as a metaphor instead of the usual word, because YouTube is obviously sensitive towards it. Um, I would say here that Juliet is the tough case where nothing could have been done to prevent it. Because here's the thing: for most of those cases and other stories, skits, stuff like that, most of the time it's, oh, we haven't noticed the signs or whatever. Like, it could have been prevented, which obviously sends a good message of, oh, of not of every person the people who have the biggest smiles probably have the biggest struggles, stuff like that. But like with Juliet, it's the type of case where nothing could have been done to prevent it. She already has a terminal illness, so she essentially made what the inevitable happen early. That's essentially it. Like, she knew she was gonna die either way, so she decided why not do it early. You know what I mean? Like, again, with other stories, because this is honestly the first one where she honestly just made the inevitable happen early. That's honestly it. Because if she was gonna die either way, it made the decision all the easier for her. Because she has been suffering, and because she has a terminal illness, she doesn't even have the encouragement that maybe something good can happen in her life eventually. Because maybe by the time that thing happens, the terminal illness will have already taken her life itself. Like, man, this honestly sends two life lessons in one. First of all, the world does not revolve around you. Slash, the time doesn't wait for you to move on. Slash, everyone has your own struggles. Not everyone is having the perfect, happy life. Like, okay, some struggles are obviously going to be smaller than others. Some people struggle with stuff that you wouldn't see as much of a struggle, more than a small obstacle. But like, everyone is struggling in some way, shape, or form, whether it's small or big. So like, this is honestly 3 life lessons in one, without even mentioning the other one, which is, first of all, the world is not gonna revolve around you. You're not the only one struggling. Do not expect everyone to conform to your needs without their needs being met first. Like, if you look at the video overall, you get the 3 life lessons I mentioned earlier, and the last one, which is the people who have the biggest smiles are probably the people who are struggling the most. I say probably because, of course, not every person who's super happy is obviously suffering from these thoughts. Not everyone. It's obvious. But like, that doesn't mean that there aren't people who try to hide it that way. Because like, people have been used for media and stuff like that depressed people barely feel anything, stuff like that. But like, that's probably true. But there are other people, like we've seen from Juliet, like you probably see from some scripts that they fully took it seriously, that Some people just try to be as happy as possible. And again, like, I feel like what pushed Juliet to finally do it was because of the fact that it was gonna happen either way. Like, most of the time you say, oh, if only I had encouraged that person and giving them happiness and hope, maybe they wouldn't have done it. But in this case, even that wouldn't have helped. Because, again, she only made the inevitable happen early. Now, like for most other people, you could say, if I had encouraged them, if I had given them the help they needed, I would have helped them seek their happiness. I would have helped them find their happiness eventually. But for Juliet, that wouldn't have done anything. Because maybe by the time she finds her happiness, she'll have already been done. She'll have already died. Like, I'll be honest. For all of the years that I've watched Dhar Mann, this is the most serious he has been. Especially when it comes to these topics. Like, this isn't the first time he mentioned he mentioned in his videos someone taking their own life. This is not the first time. But this is the first time, or this is the time where he took it the most seriously and made it a big talking point. And what I like is that they make sure that what Juliet's saying is done from a perspective where instead of it seeming like Viviana not answering her texts and stuff like that was the final blow, it's like that's what I got at first. Instead, they made it so that, okay, Viviana honestly couldn't have changed much. Because again, Juliet basically made the inevitable happen early. She already had that in plan. She was essentially probably seeking a little more happiness before essentially going through with it. Honestly, I don't even know if I should talk anymore without repeating the points I already said. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. On the left is my most recent video, on the right is a video that YouTube recommends, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.